Morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I have got questions for you. What opens with us not being able to see the symptoms that Randall has of chicken pox, because he don't have chicken pox yet, and what closes with Kate having something that we can't see the symptoms of either. If you guess This Is Us on NBC, Season 2, Episode 4, still there. Oh, still there. Then you're correct. I'm Angela, the channel is Be Fabulous You. Thank you so much for clicking and sticking around for the video to see how we get from opening to closing. Let us proceed. So we got snow. It's a video store visit. Some people don't even know what video stores are anymore. It's a thing of the past. And the family, Jack, wifey, and the triplets around 10 years old. And Kevin is fussy. And it turns out that Kevin has a fever. And it turns out that he has the chicken pox, and Kate too. Although Randall has no symptoms. Then we see Deja, modern day Deja, and the other children, Tess and Annie, at the table, breakfast table, and Daddy is doing Tessa's hair, Annie's hair, one of the baby girls' hair. And Deja's hair, we've noticed since the beginning, it's a mess. It's still a mess. And they kind of hint around, oh, you want me to do your hair or whatever? And she's like, no. So we find out that it's been 2 weeks. The child hasn't washed her hair, hasn't seemed to do her hair, and they can smell her scalp. So, it's a hygiene thing. The Mama Beth wants to talk to the child about it, but Randall wants to be the lead because Mama Beth is the lead on everything. Even though she's gone back to work, the children, Annie, Tess, whoever, still come to her for things. And Randall, he want to be the lead. He the adopted child. He want to be the lead with this adopted child. He want to be the head parent in charge. So, Mama Beth is like, okay. We see Kate exercising. There's a muffin the TV is up here. The muffin is down here. Her boyfriend is like, what you looking at the muffin for? If you want to eat the muffin, eat the muffin. It's the healthiest muffin in the nation. It's whole wheat. It's got unsweetened almond flour. It's got unsweetened almond milk. He's describing how healthy it is. But we also see in the background, she has a dress that she's going to wear to an event. She's going to be singing at a bar mitzvah, a 13-year-old Jewish child's birthday party, and she wants to be able to get into the dress. So she's exercising, she's focused, he feels that she's obsessing over the weight. And Kate is like, she's just getting ready for her big event. We see Kevin on set. The producer wants to see Kev's leg. Kev kind of lift up his, pants a little bit and show his ankle. And the producer, director guy is like, no, come on, lift it up, let me see. And we see that he got a big old swollen knee, but he talking about he tough. He looked like he got an issue. And the producer is like, you got an issue. Let's call the medics to deal with this. Then we see flash to a whiny 10-year-old Kevin. He ain't so tough. And his dad is telling him, your sister Kate has the chicken pox too, and she not complaining. Kev, you need to toughen up. Now, the first time I watched this, I did not notice this theme at all, but it's like this toughen up theme from his dad is an ongoing theme in this episode. And Randall comes into the space. He almost naked. He trying to get exposed to chicken pox so he can get the chicken pox over because he got a science fair project that he working on. So he want to go ahead and get sick so he can cross that off his list of things to do. So he can be well in time for the science fair. The doorbell rings. Earlier, we had heard the mother saying, Mama Rebecca saying, look, I got to go. We got 3 kids with chicken pox. Bye, Mama, I got to go. The doorbell rings, and it is the mama of Rebecca's mom. And Jack looks unpleasantly surprised, and Rebecca is not that happy to see her, we can tell. But Randall kind of gets a half smile, excited. He's like an excited child in general. He's a pretty happy child. Then we see a modern day Kev at the doctor. He has a fractured knee. He fractured his knee 20 years ago, and then he re-injured it 2 or 3 weeks ago. And he didn't like how the painkillers made him feel, so he's been toughing it out because he's tough now. And he basically needs to have surgery. So we see his surgery. His sister Kate is there. He goes under anesthesia. As he goes under anesthesia, he's flashing back, thinking about his football career and his dad and him as a kid. And then we see the 10-year-old Kev being comforted by his mama, his grandmama, Rebecca's mama. And Kate is next to her. So it's like the grandmother's like, oh, Kevy, and Kate is next to her. And then Randall, who when she came in, she like, why is this little African child naked? The African child has gone upstairs and put on clothes. So he comes down and grandma's like, I got gifts for everybody. She's going to give out gifts. But she had started talking about the gifts before Randall came, but Randall came just in time for gift giving. Then we see Jack and Wifey in the kitchen, this same 10-year-old triplet age, and they're complaining and strategizing about how to get through the visit. The mom of the wifey basically invited herself. Rebecca's mom basically invited herself, hearing that the kids were sick. She wanted to come and be helpful. They are talking about how bad the snow is. They're going to be snowed in. She can't leave before the snow. Her mama called her Buffy, Bunny. She don't even like that. Her mother get on her nerves. Well, don't let her upset you. I'm not trying to let her upset me. Meanwhile, the grandma is giving out gifts, and the gifts are a hit, a miss, and a miss. So she gives Mr. Kevin a football helmet. He's happy. Yay, football helmet. He gives Miss Katie, Grandma gives Miss Katie a Little Mermaid costume. She's happy. Yay, but it's too small. Grandma says, well, that could be your goal weight dress. Mama says, we know you kept the receipt, so we're going to go ahead and get a dress in her proper size. Thank you, Mama. And then she gives baby boy Randall a basketball. And Randall is like, I don't like basketball. And his grandmother is like, well, everybody needs to be good at something. I have a feeling you're a natural. You'll be a natural. Then we see a modern day Randall with his family. Without the mom, he's taking the girls to a bowling alley. And Deja, when, he like, okay, let's get in line to get the shoes. We switch. Deja like, I'm not switching out my shoes. I don't want to wear somebody's old shoes. Ew. And Randall's trying to like, well, and then one of the little girls is like, I don't want to wear anybody's shoes either. So things are kind of unraveling. And then, things get a little worse. Randall's trying to negotiate, but then another little girl, a little teenage girl Deja's age, or a little preteen girl, is like, I bet her feet are nastier than her hair, or maybe her feet are not nastier than their hair. I don't know. But she making a comment about the face. She out in public. People notice. They notice in the house. They notice in public. The girl's hair, it needs some assistance. And Deja is like, I heard what you said. And then she ends up pushing the girl. And then Randall is like, okay, let's go. And the girl's dad is like, you don't just walk away. She needs to apologize. And then the dads are arguing back and forth. And your daughter this, and your daughter this, and your daughter this, and your daughter, your daughter, your daughter, your daughter. And Deja is standing there. And then she's like, I'm not his daughter. And that's basically the end of the scene. Then we see Kevin on the phone with his ex-wife, who's his current girlfriend, as he comes into Kate and Toby's place on crutches post-surgery. It's after the surgery. And Kevin's ex-wife girlfriend is in the medical field. So she's like, well, what's your pain on a level of 1 to 10? And Kev is like, I'm cool, but my pee, I gotta go pee. It's like a 12.5. Talk to you later. He don't want to talk about it. And then we see Kate, she heading out to the yoga class. And Toby is like, you leaving me here alone? She like, oh, you can handle it. I gotta, go to yoga class. He like, you can fit in the dress. Try on the dress. Don't leave me. But he leaves. And then we see Kevin is moving along his recovery. He just got out of surgery now. He already want to take off the bandage and start exercising. And Toby is like, ignoring the doctor's instructions. Toby is trying to read what the doctor said. Kev don't have no time for that, because he got places to go, people to see, and things to do. He don't have no time to be... He not hearing it, Toby. Okay, so then we see a 10-year-old Kev, and he's writhing and complaining and being uncooperative in his chicken pox also. He ain't cooperating with the program even as a 10-year-old, but he's whiny. The grown-up Kev is not whiny. And his dad is, trying to toughen him up. His dad is like, look at me, rah! And little Kevin's like, rah! And he's like, his dad is like, you are tougher than this itch. You are stronger than this itch. Let me hear you. You're a Pearson. Let me hear your battle cry, rah! 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 And they having, a little man type bonding time. And then the grandmother comes into the room and she's like, please, I've got a headache. And don't scratch. And when they stop yelling, Kevin starts scratching his face. And the grandmother is like, and don't scratch that beautiful face of yours, Kev. It's going to take you far one day. And Kev is like, really? And then we see 37-year-old Randall and Beth in bed. And Randall is beating himself up for going to the bowling alley. Why did I do that? Wallowing in how his plan went awry. His plans are always going awry. He is a man with a plan. But, and Beth is like, well, I'll talk to Deja in the morning. And then we see Randall chasing Kate. This is little 10-year-old Randall. He's chasing Kate through the house trying to get a hug because he's trying to execute that plan to get the chicken box over so he can be ready for his science fair. And his mother, Rebecca, is like, look, there's plenty of germs around here. Why don't you go upstairs and work on your project now before you get sick? You'll catch the germs. And Randall is like, oh, that's a good idea. And then he sees his grandmother, Mama Wifey Rebecca, and he's like, you want to come see my science fair project, Grandma? Blah, 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 blah. And he's all excited. And his grandmother is kind of like, why don't you show it to me when it works? And then Randall is kind of disappointed, womp, womp. And then the grandmother turns to criticizing Mama Wifey Rebecca. Eventually she starts, she's like, oh, oops, hold on a second. She's criticizing her about the soup, and then baby girl Kate is like, I like your soup, Mommy. And then grandma's like, well, I taught her how to make the soup. And then, baby girl Katie is like, well, did your mama teach you how to make the soup, Grandma? And then grandma's like, no, our maid taught us how to make this particular soup. And baby girl Katie is like, you had a maid? And grandma's like, oh, she was a lovely black woman, but I always had to be on her so that she wouldn't, what did she say? She was a lovely black woman who I had to constantly monitor and correct so that her awful English didn't corrupt your mother Rebecca and her siblings. And then we find out that Jack is feverish too. So even though he had the chicken pox, he's getting poxified too. Oh, my back. I'm twisted in a funny way. These are my favorite leggings. Okay, let's see. And then the next morning, this is a modern day 37-year-old, Beth walks in on Deja packing, and she like, you kicking me out, right? That's what Deja's saying. And Beth is like, you spent the whole night thinking that? Baby, we ain't kicking you out. No, Deja, sit. Now, we don't push in our house. You are grounded, but we not kicking you out. And Deja's like, is that it? And Beth is like, well, me and my 3 sisters and my mama, we was a house full of women, and the Clark women were strong women and blah, 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 blah. But we always came together to do each other's hair. And, my mother always thought that how you present yourself on the outside, and she thinks now, and I think so too, is a reflection of how you feel on the inside. And, I don't know why you're not washing your hair and taking care of your hair, but I do know that we got to do something about it. So these are your choices. You can go to you can do it yourself, or you can go to my salon. It's expensive, but they do I like it, you'll like it, hey. And then Deja's like, Beth is like, so let me know what you gonna do, baby girl. And then Deja's like, will you do my hair? And we're all, all of the black women in the world, maybe all the women and people in the world are like, oh, it's a little body, the baby, the boom. Okay. So then we see Kevin. This is modern day Kevin, 37-year-old. He's being visited by like the production assistant on the set, and he brings him a bouquet, like fruit bouquet, like a bouquet of fruit, not flowers, but that brand thing. And then the script and stuff. And Kev is like, I'll see you in a few days. And then we see Kate, and she's in the pharmacy, and is she heading toward the weight loss section? That's what I thought at first. And I'm like, oh my God, is she about to take Fen or some other drug to try to lose weight? No, Kate, no. But Okay, so then we see Beth doing Deja's hair, and Deja has some bald spots. Beth realizes, and Beth tells Deja about, one of Beth's sisters who also has alopecia. And it's this alopecia thing is a new concept to Deja, and they kind of chit chat about it, and we find out that stress makes Deja's alopecia flare up worse. She gets worse hair loss, and Beth is like, as they're talking, she like, it's okay to talk. It's just the two of us here. And this is what gets Deja to confide. It's just the two of us here. I noticed it this time around. I noticed it the last time around. Then we see the mom wifey, Rebecca's mom, and she's looking through a photo album. She's like, oh, I remember this when Jack took the twins and Randall out on the lake. And Rebecca is like, not the twins and Randall, Mom, just the kids. And Mom is like, oh, okay, what's up? You don't call home. You don't come to see us. You don't seem happy. And Rebecca is like, I'm happy, Mom, okay? And then the mom is like, okay. And then she go back to reminiscing or whatever. She's like, who would have ever thought that Randall would be the one to get into private school? And then mom wifey Rebecca is like, what? What does that mean? Okay, you want to talk? Let's talk. You know why we don't come to visit to see you all? It's because of you, Mom, and your constant criticism of me and my cooking and my husband and his ability to provide for us and my daughter's weight. And Kevin's going to think that his looks are his only value. And all of that is bad, Mom. It's really bad. But I could ignore that and I could explain it away, sort of. But Randall, he tries so hard to get you to like him. I wondered if you never bonded with him because he was adopted, but you've made it clear that it's because he's black. And then the mom of Rebecca's mom is like, I'm appalled. And then Rebecca is like, just because he's black, it does not mean that he likes basketball. He likes football like the rest of us. And you got to stop separating him from the other kids. And Dora, our maid, was not a child that you had to train to speak. She was a 50-year-old woman who had kids of her own. And St. Mary's. What about St. Mary's? We went there all my life, all our life. And then suddenly, when I was 16, we went to another church because we got a minister who was from Ghana. He was black. And then Rebecca's mom is like, I just couldn't understand him. And then Rebecca is like, when the snow is gone, you go, Mom. I will not expose Randall to you. You are a racist, Mom. You're a racist. And she turns. And then Randall is standing there. And she's like, oh, Randall, I thought you were upstairs. And then Randall is like, I got a chicken pox. I got my first chicken pox, Ma. And then we see Kate and Toby. And Toby sees Kate in the dress and it fits. Yay! And Toby is like, yay! And Kate is like, yeah. Okay, so then we see 10-year-old Randall with Jack and Rebecca. He's like, Randall is like, well, how could Grandma be racist? She never said anything mean to me about being black. Oh, you talking about Martin Luther King when people shot him because he wanted to help black people? Did Grandma shoot Martin Luther King? And then Jack is like, no. Sometimes racism is subtle. It's passive aggressive. It's like fake and phony. It's deceitful. Like when your mom says, I love it when you leave your muddy boots in the middle of the living room. And you know how she doesn't mean that, right, Randall? And Randall is like, yeah. And they're like, well, his dad is like, well, that's how racism can be. And then Rebecca is watching and she's like, she looks sick. She's like, oh, it's so awful. It is. It's very disturbing. And then Randall is like, I'm going to go to bed. And he kisses him. Poor Randall. He's so sweet. He's just a sweet a poodle. He just got to deal with this. And all the children are sweet little children. And then we see Beth and Randall talking about Deja and the alopecia and parenting and being a team. And, yay. Oh, hold on a second. And then we see Randall, he coming in on Deja, she in the bathroom looking at her cute face. And Randall's like, you cute like Alicia Keys. She old, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, dang girl, but it's good. I'm sorry about the bowling alley scene. He all excited. bonding with her. I shouldn't have, talked to them. I get stressed. I shouldn't have done that at the bowling alley. I had 2 nervous breakdowns. And, when I get stressed, I run to deal with my stress. And, hey, it helps me clear my mind. You can come run with me anytime. And Deja is like, she told you what I said? I thought that was confidential. Deja doesn't say that, but that's what she meant. Like, we were having girl time, we were bonding, and now your old goofy behind is all in the mix. And then we see Toby walking in on Kev on the treadmill. This is modern day, of course, it's Toby there. And he's like, dude, you are doing the most. Sit down. And Kevin is like, hey, no pain, no gain. Gotta keep moving. And Toby is like, look, I'm not your nurse, but I am your future brother-in-law, and I am not gonna let you screw up your knee for the rest of your life, bruh. And then Kev is like, well, I'm not gonna let this knee screw up the rest of my life again. I threw my first football at the age of 3. I was on the varsity football team as a sophomore, and I was not good. I was great. I was being scouted, and I had my whole future planned. More planning. And then my knee goes out. And then my whole football future is gone. Just like that. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. And I started this acting thing just to pass the time. And then I started to like it. And now, 20 years later, I am not going to let this knee screw up my life again. I'm on the verge of something great. I'm not going to let them write me out of this movie. This is a big deal. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Okay, then we see Jake. He waking up in the bed, and he realizes a bed full of children. The children that came and joined him in his sickness, the 10-year-old triplets. And the whole family is basically hiding out upstairs away from Rebecca's mom. And Jack is like, we will not be held prisoner. I'm going downstairs. And then we see Jack trying to shovel out Rebecca's mom's car. And it's like a lot of snow. I'm like, he never going to get out. They going to have to wait till spring for her to go. And then Kevin joins his daddy in the shoveling. So they shoveling out together. Then we see a 37-year-old Kev watching footage of him playing football as a teen. And we see and hear his enthusiastic dad. My son is a total package. My son is tough. My son is tough as hello. And then Kevin gets up off the couch. And then Kevin gets the pills. And then Kevin looks at his dad's face, which is frozen on the screen because he had stopped the footage. And then he takes the pills. Then we see Kevin pulling up on the set in his convertible, looking good. And he tells the producer-director guy, I told you I wouldn't slow this down. And then the director-producer guy is like, you're a man of your word. And then we see Rebecca saying to her mom, Jack just finished digging out your car, so see ya. And then the mom of Rebecca is like, I couldn't sleep. I was haunted by what you said. I grew up in a different time. It's not because he's black or it might be because he's adopted. I mean, it just all feels so foreign and confusing to me. I swear I try. And Rebecca is like, you shouldn't have to try. And then the mom of Rebecca is like, I know. But I do. And then we see, Rebecca and the mom come upstairs, and Randall is, sitting there. And Rebecca's like, my mom wants to say bye to you. And Randall is like kind of dry, like, And then the grandmother ask him something. And Randall go from dry to moist, or from cool to hot real quick. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. And then the grandmother is like, well, this is impressive. You're a special young man, aren't you? And 10-year-old Randall is like, it took you long enough. And then we see Deja in the mirror. She's looking at her braids. She got the scissors in her hair, and she starts to hack her hair off. We figure that's what's going on. Then we see her at the breakfast table, walking up to the breakfast table, sitting down, and she done hacked her hair off. She got a short little do. Well, it ain't really a do. It's just hacked off. And then the family notices, but nobody says anything. They're just like... And then we see Kate at the doctor, and she's like, I bought the vitamins you recommended. So she was buying vitamins. And then she says she wants to, stay, do the right thing because of her age and her weight. And then we find out that Kate is turned from a poppy seed to a lentil. Those are both really small. Kate is 6 weeks pregnant. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, and sticking around for the end. Thank you so much for your patience. I got a show that opens this week. It's a lot going on. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. Today is the best day ever. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous. You. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous. You. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous. You. Be you.